So I've been, in my media mode, as I call it, because, I guess I've become a media psychic, and, I love that. So, but anyways, it's been a fun day. I've had a great time, and I love it. But then I had private readings this evening, so it's been a day where it's like nonstop. So it's a little late, but at least hopefully you guys are up late on a Friday and will enjoy today's video. So what are we talking about? UFOs and aliens. Well, I wanted to come and talk to you guys about an amazing race of aliens. I've heard of them before. Their name are the Carrions. But recently it came to my mind, I need to do a little more research on them. And what's interesting is what prompted this is I had a vision recently. I was praying and I had a vision of Horus, Horus, Horus. I'll put the name here. And he's an Egyptian god. He's the Egyptian god, the sun lord, the god of the sky. He's a powerful ancient protector. And many of you who study Wicca, I'm sure, are familiar with Horus. He is the son of Isis, the great mother goddess whom I worship. And so if you worship Isis like I do, you can't help but also know Horus and love him as well. And I've loved Horus for many years. But the thing that's very interesting is I was meditating on the Carrions. And then I thought, oh my heavens, there could be a link here. You say, what? What are you talking about? Well, the Carrion race of aliens, they come from the Draconis star system. And I'll put a map up here for you. And they are a being of humanoid-shaped beings who have the head of a bird and the body of a human. Now, what's very interesting is that this race of beings were very etheric in their early evolution. And over time, they wanted to experience the material world and they took on bodies. And when they lowered their vibration and entered into the physical realm, they took this form. Now, what's very interesting is I have discovered a link that the ancient Atlanteans of the continent of Atlantis, which is off the eastern seaboard of the United States, which is now underwater, which is being more and more every day confirmed by science, does seem to have existed. They've uncovered details that it looks like the Atlanteans were in contact with the Carrions. And from what I understand, the Atlanteans created doorways. They opened portals that would allow alien visitors to come through. They're kind of like wormhole doors. And so the aliens who are on the far sides of many of our, far sides of galaxies, millions of light years away, could come to the Earth realm in a blink of a second through using these doorways. And it's believed that it was the ancient aliens, and one of them was the Carrions, who helped teach the Atlanteans about time-space portals. That's right. So the Atlanteans were in contact with a race of aliens known as the Carrions. Now, what's interesting is many of you know the history of Atlantis. Atlantis eventually decayed and had a war and destroyed itself in a nuclear cataclysm. And what's interesting is it's believed that a small remnant of Atlantis who survived and escaped were the original founders of the ancient Egyptian culture. Now, if you look at the hieroglyphs of ancient Egypt and their statues and their religion, one of the gods is Horus. And Horus looks an awful lot like a Carrion. Now, does that mean Horus was a Carrion? Can't prove it, but I'll tell you as a psychic, I'm getting a real strong link there. And so I do believe that the ancient Egyptian religion does have influence of an alien culture, an alien race. So very, very fascinating here. And interestingly, from what I understand, the Carrions are a very intelligent race. They're very logic oriented. They are not violent. They're peaceful, not given to war. They're kind of like, do you remember Star Trek, the Vulcans? Very logic oriented, very scientific. And according to what I've understood is that the Carrion race, through genetic experimentation, created the Draconis race. Now, the Draconis race are a group of aliens that are reptilian. And from all the accounts I've read, the Draconis aliens are very hostile, very anti-life, very anti-human. So much so that they split off from their creators, the Carrions. And the two are actually enemies now because the Carrions are not violent or aggressive. And the Draconis are basically a genetic experiment out of control. So, this is very fascinating because I also uncovered in the ancient Egyptian mythology, there is a story about a war between the serpents and the birds. And they, in fact, have ancient pictures of that in their hieroglyphics. So this is very interesting because if this is true, that the Carrions were part of the original founding of Egypt and they created the Draconis population, then we've got definite links here between Atlantis, ancient Egypt, and the Star People. I really do believe in the coming, I'm going to say it's actually within the next 2 years, that all of these links will come out publicly. As I have predicted, in the next 2 years, we're going to have major, major alien revelations coming. And I do believe the Vatican will be involved with it, as well as the United States government will finally kind of come out of the closet and talk about it. But in the meantime, we as spiritual people can take that knowledge and use it. Because many of the people I'm encountering in my readings today are reincarnations, or reincarnated from the time of Atlantis. So if we are, many of us, and I'm one of them, are Atlantean souls reincarnated, that means that deep within our spirits, we have a memory. We have a knowledge of our connection to the Star People. And it's no coincidence, I believe, that we are here at this time, because we're going to start to be here when the revelation comes out, and we will see the truth again, that our world, our cultures, and the Star People are intimately connected and have been for thousands upon thousands of years. So I'm going to encourage you, look up the Carrion people. I'll put some pictures here at the end of the video. I'm going to put some pictures of Horus also, and I want you to study him. I can tell you, I have prayed to Horus, and I have felt a connection. And so Horus, whether he's an advanced alien being or a god, as he's proclaimed, he is a being in spirit who I do feel gives enlightenment to the earth. My connection with Horus has always seemed positive and uplifting, never dangerous, never scary. And I feel that that's interesting because it's a testimony to what I've uncovered about the Carrions. Kind-hearted, intelligent, and wise. They're a good race, and I don't think we've seen the last of them. I tell you, it will not surprise me if the first UFOs actually land in Egypt to kind of say, look, we're back, and look who we are. And I tell you, one of the early revelations of the Star People, I do believe will be with the Carrions, and we might literally see Horus reappear in Egypt. Now, won't that shock everybody? But you remember, you heard it here first, okay? Anyways, guys, just want to come here, share that thought. Tell me in the box below, are you familiar with the Carrions? Have you heard about them? Maybe you've even seen one or encountered them in a meditation. What do you think about the god Horus? Have you studied him? Do you have a connection with him? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, share your thoughts below, and hope you'll like this, favorite, share it with your friends, and keep it here at Spirit Channel. If you haven't seen your horoscopes, check those out, the video today.